My brother is getting married, but I think I should warn his fiance.
Ooh, that's always a good thing to get right before you get married. A nice, healthy warning.
Yeah. I mean, it's how you bless proper marriage.
Yeah.
You warn them. I, 22-year-old female, have a younger brother, 20-year-old male, who started dating his current girlfriend about a year ago. I have no general problems with her. She is a sweet girl, seems like she means well and gets along with the family. Initially, I had no problems with her, and even now, I still don't have any real issues with her. And by the way, this comes from you-remarkable ostrich 16 on the ROK Storytime subreddit. So here's where things get murky for me. My brother and his girlfriend, let's call her Alice, started dating a couple of months after my brother, let's call him Braden, got back from boot camp for the Marine Corps. After coming home, he had decided that he wanted to go on a Mormon mission. This was before he met his girlfriend. Him and Alice began dating 3 months before he was set to leave on his mission. If you don't already know, you're not supposed to date while you're on your mission, so I worried this would end up bleeding into his journey for his service to God. As a side note, I am not religious, but am supportive of my family and what they want to believe in. They're like, I don't believe in your code of conduct of your religion, but at least follow it.
Yeah, they're like, I'm not religious, but if you're gonna be,
like, do it right.
Please do it right.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't believe in the Mormon church and do not participate, but you better win Mormonism. My entire family is active Mormon. Anyways, I thought they would cool things down once he left for his mission back in January. But if anything, it seems things just continued. I wouldn't have an issue with this as I don't care about the Mormon church, but my brother has made it his mission to force Alice into the family while he's gone. As I said before, she's a sweet girl and I don't have a problem with her. I guess I feel uncomfortable being forced to spend time with her at family events when they only dated for 3 months before he left. Braden pressures my parents into inviting her to everything, and it's a bit of a shock when she shows up at intimate family dinners. So this isn't to say that I would feel the same way if my brother was home and they were dating. My issue comes from being in a completely different county, supposed to be somewhat isolated from what's happening outside of his mission. I think from him being in a completely different, I think they meant country.
Yeah.
My thing is, he should have just stayed home. He's been gone less than a year, and he's talking about leaving his mission early so he could come home and marry Alice. It just worries me a bit because she is such a sweet girl, and I know my brother, and he isn't the nicest person. He bullied me all growing up, and I figured he would grow out of it when he got older and matured. That's what I thought. It feels like he's only gotten meaner. He doesn't treat my family well, but I seem to be the only one that stands up to him while everyone else just seemingly ignores him, which just enables his behavior. He will be belittling me or my younger brother, and no one will say anything. The only time they speak up is when I get frustrated and set my boundary with him, and they tell me I should calm down. He's just like that. It's very frustrating. I guess my feelings are more revolved around my brother and our relationship more than Alice and her as a person. My mom has told me that he's basically planning his wedding while he's on his mission, and he will text her and tell her to look into wedding stuff when he should be focusing on his mission. She's made it sound as though he feels he will come home and be entitled to their dream wedding. My parents aren't going to take care of and pay for everything. My parents only covered the venue for my wedding as well as my older sister, so I'm not sure where he's getting this idea. But the venue's, expensive.
Yeah, it's a
part
sizable chunk.
Yeah.
It's not everything though, but it's a lot.
Yeah. He tells her that he's going to come home, get married, and buy a house. He doesn't even have a car, and maybe he has savings that I don't know about to my knowledge, but he doesn't have a big savings account, which makes my mom believe that he's going to expect them to help him. For some additional context, and possibly why this upsets me so much, my parents haven't financially supported me once I got past 18. I was on my own after that point. I met a nice person and got married where me and my husband paid for almost everything on our own. We bought a house the same year with savings my husband had set aside. Now we're currently pregnant with our first baby. Braden wasn't able to come to our wedding, which was sad for us since he was in the Marines, but when he came home, it seemed he only had bad things to say. He made fun of the home we bought. When we told him we were pregnant, he said our baby would be born the same month as he was born, saying his birth month is a superior month.
Dude, how jealous and insecure could you possibly be?
Yeah, he's like, sorry, November is my month.
That's my month's better than your month.
Yeah.
Nanny, boo, boo.
He's like, can you delay the birth?
What's really getting me is how do you insult someone after becoming a homeowner? I feel like that's so...
like when he's like, your house sucks?
Yeah, where it's like, yeah, where's your house, dude?
Yeah.
Did you leave it on the mission?
Oh.
No, what are you doing? What are we talking about?
So he also does this thing with my nieces where he tells them he's their favorite uncle and makes them say it back to him, but no one says anything.
Dude, this guy's weird now.
Maybe it's harmless, but it really frustrates me, and I'm just not ready to have to deal with that with my own children. I've already told my mom that if I need to, I will distance myself from Brayden because of how toxic he can be. If my family said anything and put him in his place once in a while, maybe I wouldn't be so inclined to feel this strongly, but I worry that no one will have my back when I attempt to set boundaries with him. I can deal with his antics, but I don't want my kids to have to put up with it, especially because they won't understand what's going on. I have to protect them and be their example of how you should treat people. All this to say, it really doesn't have anything to do with Alice, as she is genuinely a sweet girl, but more to do with my brother. I feel bad not getting close to her, but with how things have been going with Brayden, it's really hard to want to get close to Alice. It's to the point where I worry there will come a day after our baby is born where I won't be able to tolerate being with my entire family at the same time. I am the black sheep and I do my best to just be family, but I always feel left out and uncomfortable. Shout out OP. I also resonate with the black sheep trigger in my family, and that's not fun. So I sympathize with you for that.
Shout out all the black sheep.
All the black sheep. Shout you out. All right. My husband's family is warm and welcoming, and I feel so much more safe and comfortable with them, which is an environment I want my kids in. And you can bring your kids. You just have to come join us live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. I'm not sure. It's confusing, and I feel so conflicted. It isn't Alice's fault, and I don't feel it's my place to warn her about him. Even the interactions I saw with them when he was home, he was still his normal, controlling self. At one point, taking away her phone? That's so inappropriate.
What
That's
are you?
like
It's like
parenting your partner.
Or like
of 3 months.
being a high school teacher to your
Yep.
to your soon-to-be wife.
Put your phone in the phone cubby, honey.
Mhm. You'll get it back after the end of second period.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel bad because no one else seems to say anything except my mom, but even then, she's still included in everything. We just celebrated my niece's 5th birthday yesterday, and she was included. It just made me uncomfortable because I feel that Brayden pressures my family to include her in everything, going as far as telling my mom she needs to invite Alice over to their house for dinner. In my opinion, we should have the option to be close with her, especially with him being in another country for 2 years if he sticks out his whole mission. I would have no problem if he was home and they'd been maintaining their year-long relationship at home. I just don't know. Am I the a-hole? What can I do here? I feel so lost and want to be close with my family, but it's hard when they seem to let Brayden walk all over them. I think there's a lot of things going on, and I think the main part of this story is your relationship with Brayden. You don't know if you want to have it or not. There's all this resentment you hold for good reason, and you're up in the air if you want to have a relationship with your brother. And then it seems like it's just like salt in the wound that you don't even want to necessarily have a relationship with your brother, and this person that he's barely been seeing is joining the family, and it seems like it's just still reminding you the fact that your family puts up with all the BS that your brother does.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that like talking to Alice or anything around Alice is actually the problem. I think that's just kind of the scapegoat for the real fact that you need to figure out the boundaries you want to set with your brother and the type of relationship, if any relationship, that OP wants to have with their brother.
Yeah. Maybe some family counseling.
Yeah, and
Figure
it could
out-
be a conversation with the
Mom
whole
and
family.
dad and you and can go and sit down and figure out what exactly and get all y'all on the same page.
It's like a personal, how do I want to relate to my own brother? And then like, how do I want to like relate to this with my family involved as well?